Hey guys, HDV here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty interesting things to go over. Some new potential Pokemon Presents leaks have dropped for the 22nd of July. We have some more updates regarding this alleged Nintendo Direct that's supposed to be happening this month. Some new events, announcements, rumors, all that jazz. There's a lot of things to break down today, so if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, we have a couple of brand new Pokemon Go events and announcements. The first one is tweeted out by Cerebi saying, Cerebi update, the next Pokemon Go Max Battle Day has been announced. It focuses on Gigantamax Lapras. This runs from 2 PM to 5 PM on the 19th of July 2025. So that is next Saturday. So that's the Gigantamax Lapras event. We also have this for Pokemon Go as well, more specifically for UK players. So we've got Cerebi here tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, the first Pokemon Go road trip timed research is now available for all players in the UK ahead of Pokemon Go road trip Manchester next week. So I'm not sure what the actual research is, but apparently it's available right now if you are in the UK because of the Manchester road trip. So that's Pokemon Go, and then next up we have the kind of official reveal of the second anniversary event for Pokemon Sleep. We've got Cerebi tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, the Pokemon Sleep second anniversary fest event has been fully detailed. It adds the Hoenn starters as well as Plusle and Minun. This runs from the 14th of July through to the 28th of July. So of course, smack bang in the middle of this is the Pokemon Presents happening on the 22nd of July. So they're very likely just to cover this for the Pokemon Sleep segment, so hopefully they don't go over it too much, because we don't know how long this Pokemon Presents is going to be. I assume it's going to be quite a longer one because they've announced it like 2 months in advance. So hopefully the mobile stuff, they don't spend like a ton of time on that, because most people just want to see new information on Pokemon Legends EA, Pokemon Champions, and then potentially anything else that they're going to drop on that day as well. But either way, those are the Pokemon Go and the Pokemon Sleep announcements. Next up, I wanted to go over this post from Soul Silverart, who has found something very interesting regarding Pokemon Champions. So we have Soul Silverart tweeting out saying, was sent this by a friend. Apparently, the director of Pokemon Champions has now moved on to a new project, and his LinkedIn now says he worked on Champs until June 2025. This could possibly suggest that development of Champions has now finished. It could be in testing now. Many thinks this means it could be shadow dropped at the Presents or even at Worlds. I still think it won't be till after Legends EA releases, but this information could mean it's coming sooner than I think. So a lot of people thought that this game was going to be coming out, I guess, at the start of 2026, but if the person that moved onto a new project that was of course the director of Pokemon Champions worked on it until June 2025, I mean, that means that the game should be done now, because that's why he's moved on, because he's finished it. But also, as well as that, this game is going to be something that constantly gets updated. You'd like to think they're going to add new Pokemon to it, like the Mega Evolutions in Legends EA, very likely going to get added to Pokemon Champions. So obviously, there's still going to be a team kind of sorting all of that out, but it looks like, I guess, the main sort of the main part of the game is done. And then it says, the other important point here is why I'm personally hoping Champions would be an updated live service game, but if the director left and development is finished, could this game just be a one-off like Stadium or BR? This can always come back, or just Pokemon Works could continue working on it, but if not, this would be the most disappointing thing ever in Pokemon. The thing is, though, I think somewhere on here it does say that they've kind of like hired a new director as well, so the main director is finished and then moved on, but then they've trained another director to kind of come in, so obviously that means that it is still going to get worked on, potentially like a live service anyway. It makes the most sense. Like, I can't see this game being a one-off. Like, it's an online battle simulator, and it looks like it's going to be the main hub of competitive as well going forward. So I don't see how it could be a one-off, really. It's definitely something that's going to constantly getting worked on. But either way, that's just a quick update to Pokemon Champions. What are your thoughts on this? When do you think it's going to get revealed? Well, not revealed, but I guess the release date revealed anyway. I still think it's going to be early 2026, and then it's going to be available for Worlds 2026, the 30th anniversary. But it could come out earlier than that. We could get it late 2025, just to give time, more people time to kind of get to grips with it, learn the ropes, because I think this is going to do very well. I think this is going to get a lot of people back into competitive. Depends how they do it. If it is just a quick way of using competitive Pokemon where you don't have to grind them up and stuff, and obviously make them from nothing to a competitive Pokemon, because that does take a long time. Even in Gen 9, like, obviously it's been made a lot easier, but it is still a little bit time consuming, especially if you do something wrong with that Pokemon. But either way, we'll see what happens. We'll definitely get some more information about this during the Pokemon Presents. But yeah, when do you think that this is going to get released? Do you think it's going to be this year, next year, or even 2027? Let me know. Next up, we have another quick Pokemon announcement to go over. We have Nintendo Soup here tweeting out saying Pokemon and Razer announcing new collab on July the 17th, 2025. So this is next Thursday. And this is just a quick little event announcement kind of thing, saying gaming accessory brand Razer has announced they are doing another collaboration with Pokemon. So the collab is set to be revealed on the 17th of July 2025. At the time of this writing, it is not known what new merch will be announced. Previously, Razer released accessories such as gaming mice, mouse pads, and headsets based on different Pokemon, so we can probably expect similar merch for this new release. Stay tuned for some more updates as they come out. Yeah, I mean, this is obviously pretty cool because they have made a lot of really cool merch in the past, so we'll see what happens. They could do like some Gen 5 stuff, obviously. There's a lot of Gen 5 stuff kind of happening, and no, that doesn't mean that there's going to be a Generation 5 remake anytime soon. It is the 15th or whatever anniversary of Gen 5 this year, so that's why it's getting so much kind of, I guess, I don't know, getting so much heat around it, just simply because they're celebrating the 15 years, which is weird because obviously it was Johto's 25th last year and we didn't get anything for that, but I don't know, it is what it is. But anyway, that is the new Razer kind of Pokemon collaboration that's happening on the 17th of July. Anything crazy, of course, we'll of course cover it. Coming up next, let's talk about this alleged Nintendo Direct. I feel like I've been speaking about this Nintendo Direct every single day, but there is just more and more kind of information coming out about it. So this is a post from Nintendo Prime, quote retweeting what Nash Weedle said. Now, of course, we have covered earlier this week that Nash Weedle said, you know, something was happening this week. That's what they said. They've now come out and kind of reiterated that a little bit, but then they've also kind of backtracked a bit as well. They did actually have a very kind of credible, or they were known as quite a credible source, but I feel like this has hurt them a little bit in terms of legitimacy and stuff like that. But we've got Nintendo Prime here tweeting out saying, so according to Nash Weedle, he has talked to 7 sources about a Nintendo Direct this month. So 3 of those sources have said it's this week. So that's 3, I don't know how reputable they are, but 3 different sources have said that we are going to be seeing a Nintendo Direct this week. 2 of the sources have said it's the last week of July. For me, I feel like it's either this week or the last week. It's not going to be next week because of DK Bonanza. It's not going to be the week after that because of the Pokemon Presents. So it has to be this week or the last week of July. And then 2 sources have said that they have no information. So we'll see what, if anything, happens. So, as I say, I assume that's why Nash Weedle came out, because maybe he'd spoke to 3 people and those 3 people were like, yeah, it's happening this week. So that's why he tweeted out saying, so this week. But then maybe he spoke to some more people after that, and then, you know, they've said it's the last week of July, and then others have said, you know, they have no information. So, I don't know, obviously, you just gotta take this information with a grain of salt. I'm just bringing you guys the news from these apparent reputable sources, but like I said, I feel like if we don't get this one this week, then, yeah, Nash Weedle's legitimacy is going to take a bit of a hit because, you know, they did say it was going to be this week. But I can see why they've said it this week, because obviously they've had 3 sources saying it's going to be this week, which makes them less legitimate, which makes him less legitimate. So it's kind of like a knock-on domino effect. So yeah, I mean, it could still potentially happen this week, but it's not looking promising because obviously we're getting closer and closer to the end of the week and we haven't had anything about it. As well as that, we had an update regarding this Nintendo Direct from Nate the Hate as well. So we've got Nintendo Soup here tweeting out saying, prominent leaker says no Nintendo Direct is happening this week. So again, we spoke about Nate the Hate a little bit earlier this week because he hadn't heard anything on the Sunday, and he said if he'd heard anything on the Monday or whatever, then he'd let everybody know. But either way, this post says, prominent leaker says no Nintendo Direct is happening this week. So Nate the Hate, a prominent leaker in the video game industry, has come forward to say that there is no Nintendo Direct happening on the week of July the 7th, 2025. This comes after speculation videos of the next Nintendo Direct started appearing on YouTube, with Nate the Hate coming out saying that he has not endorsed any claim of a Nintendo Direct happening this week. There may be some truth to what he says considering his past track record. Like I say, I think Pyoro and Nate the Hate are probably the best 2 sources in regards to Nintendo leaks as of right now. Nate has obviously got a lot of stuff right in the past, especially about Directs and Nintendo Switch 2 and stuff like that. And then Pyoro's always been right as well. So I feel like I'm more inclined to believe that we're not going to get one this week. He doesn't say we're not going to get one this month. He's just saying we're not going to get one this week. So that last week of July is still potentially, I guess, a viable option. And then they also go on to say it's worth noting that a Pokemon Presents will take place at the end of this month. So if a Nintendo Direct doesn't happen this week, chances of it happening this month are unlikely, considering that Donkey Kong Bonanza is launching next week. Again, this is not quote-unquote true, because the last week of July is actually from the 28th to the 31st, which is, you know, the Monday to the Thursday. So we could easily get a Nintendo Direct around them. But yeah, if it doesn't happen this week, not going to happen next week because of DK, not going to happen the week after because of the Pokemon Presents. So if there is going to be one this month, then, and if it's not this week, then it has to be the last week of July. Or we might just not get one. We might not get one until like August, September, whatever. But we will get one at some point. But like I say, it's looking less likely that it's going to actually be in July. But anyway, again, I'm just bringing you guys the news. It's looking less and less likely we are going to see one this week anyway. We might still see one at the end of the month, but we'll have to see what happens. But either way, those are these, I guess, new alleged Nintendo Direct updates. Finishing things off for today's video, we have a new Pokemon Presents, a rumor that's been doing the rounds online. It was originally posted on 4chan, but a few people have picked it up on Twitter and stuff. This was posted on the 8th of July, so yesterday. It's just titled Pokemon Presents, posted by Anonymous. So as always, take it with a big old grain of salt. This Pokemon Presents is happening very, very soon, so we don't have to wait too long to find out what we are going to see in it. But yeah, this is just a rumor regarding what we are apparently going to see. But either way, take it with a grain of salt, yada yada yada. So hello, I have news to share on the upcoming Pokemon Presents, which of course is happening on the 22nd of July. So there's going to be a new Champions trailer. There's going to be no release date, but it says new information at the Worlds competition. So at Worlds, we're going to apparently find out more about Pokemon Champions, which I think is going to be the main source of news for this game. Like, I think we are going to see stuff about it in the Pokemon Presents, obviously, but Worlds, which is a competitive location, it's competitive scenes and stuff, they are going to go over this new competitive game because, like I say, especially if it is the new sort of hub of online Pokemon battling, then of course they're going to go over it for Pokemon's kind of big Worlds event. They're probably going to go over Legends EA as well, very, very likely, because the game will be coming out a couple of months after Worlds. But yeah, I think Champions is going to be the main kind of thing at Worlds, and I think Legends EA is going to be the main thing during this Presents. So they're kind of going to like split it up a little bit. And then it goes on to say a new mobile app called Pokemon Pokédex Mobile, which is a full Pokédex. It has new lore on Pokemon, AR features on Pokemon in your room, lots of small features. So I assume this is what Riddler Koo was talking about. He has said that we are going to be seeing a new app. I don't really think this is going to be that exciting, just a Pokédex app. Like, yeah, it's going to be cool seeing them in AR and everything like that, but we already have that in Pokemon Go, so they'd have to make this really stand out to make it worth downloading. And then how are they going to make money off a game like this? You got to think they're not just going to bring out an app that's got like no kind of monetary game, because otherwise what's the point of making it? They're a business at the end of the day. They're making these apps, they're making these games to make money. They're not just doing it just to keep us happy. So yeah, a Pokédex app just doesn't sound very exhilarating really, but either way, that's that. And then it says new TCG Pocket set, which is going to be Golden Flames and Silver Waves. There's going to be a trading update, can now trade all rarity. I mean, we know this isn't true because we've already covered trading. Like, there's been a trading update. Actually, no, I covered that on my Pocket channel. But basically, there's been a trading kind of data mine saying that is going to be happening at the end of July. They are going to be bringing out the kind of first sort of additions of this new trading update, because of course they are trading it from trade tokens and everything like that to shine dust, and then they are actually increasing the rarity of trades as well, but not everything like is tradable in terms of rarity, and they've already told us that. So I don't know why during this Pokemon Presents they'd go back on what they've said and be like, actually no, you can trade everything. So that's like a massive red flag to me. Obviously Golden Flames and Silver Waves is Generation 2. I really hope the next set is Generation 2. It is going to be a main set, so like 2 or 3 packs instead of just the one. But yeah, I mean, that kind of trading thing there, it's already been data mined, and this bit is not true. And then it says Pokemon Sleep Pro Mode. I don't really know what that could potentially be. Again, the Pokemon Sleep thing that they go over in the Pokemon Presents is very likely just going to be the 2nd anniversary thing. And then it says Paradox Pokemon added to Pokemon Go. This is not new information. They've already revealed a kind of image with Paradox Donphans on there, so this is very likely to be the case that we are going to see some Paradox Pokemon very, very soon. And then it goes on to say Deoxys, Sceptile, also Aggron in Pokemon Unite. We do have Latias and Latios coming to Pokemon Unite. Latios, I think, is available on the 17th of June or July or something like that. We covered it, I think, in yesterday's video. We don't have a release date for Latias yet, I don't think, so they're probably going to just reveal that. But yeah, Deoxys, Sceptile, and Aggron is just completely left field. Like, that is not what we're expecting to see at all. I don't know who Olim and Futu Sync Pit, I don't know who they are. I don't know if that's... I don't know who that is. I've never heard of those characters. I have no idea who they are. But apparently they're going to get sync pairs. I assume that might be in a different language or something, but then why would they be using a different language when they're writing all in English? It just makes absolutely no sense. I have absolutely no... If you know who they are, let me know. I have absolutely no idea. And then it says there's going to be a new physical TCG set. The name is already known. So it's not going to be the Mega Evolution set because that's already been announced. I assume it's going to be one of the ones that's trademarked. It might be that Delta Emerald one with Rayquaza that got trademarked a few weeks back. And then it says a Kaku trailer, which is, again, Pokemon Legends EA. I don't know why they're just using loads of random kind of... I don't know. They could just say Pokemon Legends EA. So the Dragonite Mega Evolution is going to be shown. Again, a lot of rumors are saying that Dragonite is going to be the first Mega Evolution shown, which does make sense. I think that would be a really good Mega Evolution to kind of kick things off with. Detective is shown. I assume they're referring to Emma there, which, again, she is definitely going to be in the next trailer because she's been in the key art. She's in the game cover, and we still technically have no idea who she is. Obviously, if you've not played Pokemon X and Y, you wouldn't know who she is. But yeah, so they need to introduce her properly. Crazy Absol shown. I have no idea what that means. I assume it's going to be like an Absol possessed or something like Mega Absol, I guess Mega evolving against its will. And then it says Muscat rank battle shown. No idea what that is. And then it says new story scenes shown as well. So that is the rumor. Again, I don't believe this for a second. The kind of Pokemon TCG Pocket thing is wrong. I mean, apart from that, like, there's nothing else that really jumps out at me saying that it is wrong. But, I don't know, it just doesn't really feel like it's very legitimate. I feel like the Legends EA trailer would be more than this as well. Like, more than one new Mega Evolution, a character we've already seen, and then Absol going crazy. I feel like we'd probably see more than that. But either way, this is the latest Pokemon Presents rumor. Let me know your thoughts on it. That is going to be everything for today's video, though. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. It does really help out. Like I say, leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we covered, on the Pokemon Presents rumor, the Nintendo Direct updates, also the Pokemon, what is it, the Razor thing, and then also the Champions thing, and then also all the other events as well. But yeah, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. And until next time, peace.